Welcome to this short demonstration on getting to use FastClose. What I'm going to just show you is the three buttons. The first one is the new button, where you go in here and you select a template that's been pre-built. You can see we have a number of modules, and in the general ledger we have balances which look at the high level balance information. You can then drill to the journals and then right the way down to the detailed transactions. We do have a part trend file that you can go to see even more details, but let's just focus in on the balances to start with. And if I was to run this, you can see that the screen is split into two things. There's a selection panel here, which you can hide and remove, and then there's data that comes into the grid. The rows and columns here is what governs what comes into the grid, and the add and remove selections is what we can put in the filters here. So let's just see how these filters work. If I was to blank out fiscal period and key in period 01 to 012, which is cumulative, you'll now see that I can just change that particular period, and you can see it's all coming from a period 12, cumulative 1, actual amounts. I can obviously change the different years, and if you did have budgets, you could actually put budgets and variance percent in if you wanted to. So you're getting your very detailed P&L accounts. And with version 10.1, you've obviously got more ledger types you can use. But let's just first of all look at how we can remove some of these columns. At the moment, we've got these dimensions, which are your chart of accounts. You can have up to 20 segments in your chart of accounts. Most people only have 3 or 4, which is a shame, because with dynamic segments you can populate this and you can see how easy it is to get at the data. But if I was just to look at the account dimension, so I wanted to consolidate, by removing the other columns and running this, I'm now running a trial balance for the whole year for period 2 for my master chart of accounts. And what I can do there is, if I just wanted to look at my P&L accounts, I could just simply use this membership type or the account type, and that's now giving me my P&L accounts. I can also do ranges, because I know my P&L accounts go from 4,000 to 9,999. I can do ranges, and I can have a combination actually of ranges. So if I was to clear my periods, I could actually have 1 to 3 and then comma period 6. So you can actually select very high information on what you want. Let me just focus on cumulative period 3. So if I just clear that and then go into here and look at cumulative period 3, we'll now look at some drill downs. So here I've got my P&L account, and if I just take that out and have the trial balance, I want to focus in on maybe this raw materials. So if I go from there, I can drill to the next level, which is still balances, because I'm looking at a cumulative period. You can see this 3322, the 3322. It's broken into 2 divisions here, and you can see your opening balance, and you can see values for period 3. So from there I can drill to the transactions, and I can find all the transactions that make up that 2 million. So I'm reconciling that. And because it's coming from periodic postings, we can actually go back to a more detailed transaction table, the GL transactions, and we can look at the data there. So you can see the 403, which reconciles to that, which reconciles to the 229 there, which is reconciling back to that 3. So you can see there's 3, and then if you go to the journals, you roll down to the bottom, there's the 2. Now if you wanted to, you can actually bring in more information here. You can see I've got journal number, vendor number. This is really, if you start to know your Epicor tables, we have all these fields that we can bring in, and it's all user defined. What you can also do is change the filters at the top here. So if you didn't want chart of accounts, you could come to the add and remove selection. We could remove this book. We don't want that. We might not need chart of accounts. We might need to bring in a new dimension, which is a new chart of accounts segment, maybe segment 7. If you were using that, you can bring that in there. And now what you can do is save this away in your specific folders. So if I was to save this away here, I can then do that and then bring this back. Now this is what we call Wizzy Whip, which is what you see is what you posted, because it's coming directly from the GL transaction tables. It's all real time, it's all secure, it's reading the data, you can drill down. But I know a lot of people would like to play around in Excel. So we do enable you to open those reports that we've just run. So in the GL balances one there, we can open that up and we can run that. And you can see that the information comes through here. You do still have all your filters, which is really cool, because once you've got that, you can then change your particular filter. Let's just blank that out and go from cumulative 1 to cumulative 12. You can run that, and we've got all our information coming over down on the left hand side. I can open up a new tab, and one of the things I'll show you just before we finish this demonstration is a lovely feature, which is a hierarchy engine that we've introduced to the system. If I was to run this, you'll see now that I'm able to create, this is in this section here, I can create hierarchies and calculations. So you can see total sales, cost of sales, gross profit. I can expand all of those to see what those nodes are made up of. I can collapse them all as well. And that hierarchy, as you can see, is made up over here. You can add particular calculated nodes, ranges, really clever. And one of the things you can then do is obviously open that up in Excel as well. So if I go into my hierarchies and the GL balance and run that, I've got my hierarchies in there as well. So I do hope that this has helped you just to see the flexibility. It's really just a very small portion of what the product is. We've got a lot more features within the product, but most people, just to get up and running, will just open new templates, change the columns or change the data within the columns and the selections, and get the information that they previously struggled to find. I hope you found it of interest.